The Swiss garden is a unique surviving example of an original Regency period picturesque pleasure garden. It was Robert Henley Ongley, the third Lord Ongley, who was responsible for creating the original Swiss garden, theming it on the alpine landscapes of Europe. But it wasn't the high mountains and deep valleys he wanted to portray, rather the gentle rolling hills, streams and meadows, and the iconic chalets that so characterise the foothills of the Swiss Alps. Lord Ongley intended the Swiss garden to be experienced as a series of scenes, rooms filled with interest, intimate lawns informally bordered by a variety of evergreen shrubs and adorned with sculptures, ornaments, bridges, quirky little buildings and bowers draped with ivy, roses and other climbing plants, all linked together by pretty meandering paths. The framework for these rooms was formed by carefully positioned earth mounds and planting of shrubs and trees. In places these elements created screens, enclosing spaces. Elsewhere they provided beautifully framed scenic windows or opened up deliberate vistas. On one of these earth mounds in the centre of the garden is a two-storey thatched summer house representing a traditional Swiss cottage. From the Swiss cottage porch there are wonderful views across the garden, and the cottage is itself a feature of many carefully contrived views. Writing in 1832, one visitor recorded her impression of the garden. "After we had partaken of an excellent repast, we went to Warden, which is a showplace belonging to Lord Ongley, and there we saw the most extraordinary garden in the world, made out of a bog, full of little old summer houses on little round hills, china vases, busts, coloured lamps, in short, quite a fairyland." A lot of his inspiration may have come from John Papworth's Hints on Ornamental Gardening, which was first published in 1818. This book had whole chapters devoted to ornate bridges, boathouses, grottos, lakes and ponds, rustic shelters, and the architectural use of evergreen shrubs and trees. Papworth lived nearby, so perhaps he was available to give some practical hands-on advice. Work on the Swiss garden took place over a period of 8 years, roughly 1824 to 1832.